Welcome to episode 18 of Laser Show. Hey, if you're wondering what my theme song is, I can't imagine anyone is, but I've been using this song for 7 years now. For a bunch of my sketches and for the Overly Excited Tourist. And for this podcast. It's called Technomatics, and it's by DJ Mark Rayson. And I was just thinking, I use it for everything, but I haven't really done much research on Mark Rayson or really thanked him. Certainly I got this techno song on freesound.org. That's the site I was using back in the tourist days, and still am. I still have an account, freesound.org, and Technomatics by DJ Mark Rayson. And Mark Rayson, as far as I can see and tell, I can't find him on any social media. I just Googled right now, DJ Mark Rayson Technomatics. I Googled the very song. Name of song and name of artist doesn't come up. It brings me to LinkedIn, a guy named Mark Rayson, who's a mineral carbonation. He works at Mineral Carbonation International, MCI. And there's another IT professional named Mark Rayson. If anyone has any way of contacting DJ Mark Rayson, Rayson, we gotta let this guy know I've been using his song for like everything I've done for the past 7-8 years. This guy has profoundly impacted my life. This song, by the way, Technomatics, it's like a 6-minute song. And it goes, it starts low. Then there's just a, and it goes crazy, man. It gets pretty intense. There's some I don't know what you would call it. There's some layering, you know. There's some layering. They use some other instruments later in the song. Check it out if you can. I don't know how or you can find it. It seems that it's been scraped from the annals of the internet. It might not be in the annals of the internet anymore. I might be the last guy who has it. Anyway, shout out DJ Mark Rayson. Welcome everyone to episode 18, Naughty 18. We are barely legal, aren't we, folks? Episode 18 of Laser Show. And it's going to be a good one. Those who listened to episode 17, I wanted to apologize for my scratchy throat. I was a bit under the weather. Still am a little bit, but I'm feeling much, much better. I was listening back to it. I was like, oh my God, my energy is so low. My poor listeners, of which there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands. These poor folks have to listen to my dull, sick ass. I'm going to try to use my full voice today for episode 18 of Laser Show. And we left off, if you recall. So now I'm going to talk more about the Party Angel Tour. The next several episodes are going to be about the Party Angel Tour. That is what this podcast is becoming. I have very few stories and events happening outside of these wild tours. And the Party Angel Tour has been quite a wild tour. Just actually got back. At the time of this recording, I just got back from Arizona. And that concluded my March run. And I'm fully clothed right now. I just got an email from the rental car company that I used. I rented a car because I don't have a car anymore. Guys, I sold my car. I'm broke. Sold my car. Got a couple $1,000 for it. And now I'm also going to be on the road a bunch, the next few months. I got to do this Party Angel Tour. So I don't really need my car. But anyway, so I had to rent a car to go to Arizona. Just returned it the other day. And I got an email about 30 minutes ago saying we're charging you $500 because there is an unmistakable smell of smoke. And we know you've smoked cigarettes in that car, you son of a bitch. And folks, listeners, I did not smoke in this car. I was the only one who drove the car. I did not smoke in the car. I don't smoke, really, much at all. So I said, "What the hell is this?" I call them and I call them and I call them and it's go. They're too. Their callers are all busy. Call back at another time. I'm calling. I'm calling. I'm calling, and I keep getting that message. So finally, they're a half a mile away. I thought, screw it, I'm gonna go walk over there. Say, hey, excuse me, I got this email. Mind if I smell the car? Would you mind if I just smelled the car? Just to see if I can smell what you guys were smelling, because I did not smoke in the car. So what you're smelling, you must be having a stroke. That was my big plan of what I was gonna say. Or maybe you're having a stroke? Are you smelling toast? Or maybe it's the engine, because the check engine light, maintenance needed notification was on as soon as I got the car from 24/7 Rent-A-Car. So I put all my clothes on and I was ready to walk over there with all my clothes on me. Fully jeans. Usually I do this podcast, I do a pair of shorts. Usually maybe a shirt. Sometimes I'm just like in my undies. Today fully clothed because I was ready to walk over there and I thought, well, let me give it one last phone call. And I called them and finally they answered. And it was this girl. She was so stressed out. She goes, "Hi, 24/7 Rent-A-Car. Are you calling because of an email?" And I went, yeah. And she goes, "I'm so sorry. We that was a glitch. It's been sending that email to all of our customers, but you're not going to get charged. We're drafting an apology email right now. We're so sorry." And of course, I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you're dealing with that." I was ready to go raise hell. Would I have raised hell over there? I really doubt it. I very rarely stand up for myself. And I'm very rarely assertive. I'm a coward, and I apologize for every second that I exist on this earth. But in my mind, I was going to walk over there and go, "Hey, I just got this email. I did not smoke in the car." And they were going to be like, "Well, we smelled smoke." And I'm going to go, "Cool, let me go smell it. Let me smell it, you dumb bitch," I would have said if it was a woman. And if it was a guy, I would have said, "Hey, boss, let me go smell it, buddy." But really, I would have gone over there and been like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I got this email. I'm so sorry. I can pay it." They'd be like, "Yeah, you have to pay it." I'd be like, "Of course. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry." Why am I such a cowardly bitch? Laser show audience, what do I do? But enough about that. That's just giving you a little background as to why I'm so hyped up right now. And I'm hyped up. I was ready to go knock some teeth out, throw some haymakers at 24/7 Rent-A-Car. But nah, they're fine. I actually feel really bad. That poor sweet girl. But anyway, we left off Party Angel Part 1, if you recall. Had a wild night in New Orleans. It wasn't that wild. It was pretty chill. I forgot to tell you I threw beads. I went to a bar at the end of the night that had a balcony, so I got to go on like a balcony on Bourbon Street. And these babes walked by, a group of babes. Guess what I said? I said, "Hey, babes, if you can do a cartwheel, I'll give you some beads." I had like 50 beads on, not 50, I had probably 20 beads around my neck. Someone just gave them to me on the street. I said, "Hey, throw these at people." Saw these babes. Could have yelled for some boobs, but nah, I kept it family friendly. I said, "Hey, if you can do a cartwheel, I'll throw these beads to you." And this girl did a cartwheel, and I threw some beads at her. It was pretty tight. Still have never seen a boob in my life. God, I bet they're awesome. No, I've seen them online, though. They look round as hell. So that was New Orleans. The next day, my next show is 2 days later in Austin. That's about a 10-hour drive. So my next day is a full drive day. And I love a full drive day. A day where you're just driving. It's pretty grueling, but I love driving without having to do a show at the end of the drive. I can stop and I can chill. I can take time to eat and not have to hurry. If I see something interesting on the side of the road, I can stop and look at it. You know, the world's largest ball of shit. I gotta go check that out. If you saw a sign that said "world's largest ball of shit," yeah, you're gonna go check that out. I would probably check that out even if I did have a show to get to. Cause God, I love the smell of shit. But I have a 10-hour drive, and I'm pretty hungover. I went out in New Orleans. Most of these full driving days are pretty hungover. and tough to exist. I have to drive 10 hours. I'm going to try to make it all the way to Austin. 10 full hours of driving. And just get to a hotel and friggin' chill. And then do the show the next day. But I'm very tired. And as you know from episode 17, I now have a trunk full of Celsius, which I've never dabbled in Celsius before. And throughout this day, I drink 2 Celsiuses. Well, I start my day with a coffee, and I drink 2 Celsiuses. And I believe that's it. Maybe I got another coffee at McDonald's or something. But I'm pretty sure I had 1 coffee and 2 Celsiuses, and they did the trick. I drove 10 freaking hours. Anything of note on that trip? No, not really. I was really, head was really on a swivel looking for an alligator. And I really wanted to see an alligator down in the bayou, maybe like on the side of the highway. Nah, you're driving through a lot of wetness and swampland and rivers, and I was really head on a swivel. And the whole drive for 10 hours is completely under construction. Really terrible drive, and I didn't see a single damn gator. But I get to Austin, and do all my things. I wash my ass, and I go to bed, and I am in bed for about an hour. Then I wake up having I suppose it was a panic attack. I was really freaking the hell out, and my heart was pounding hard, racing fast, and I was sweating, and I was very paranoid. If you've listened to episode 1 of this podcast, I got some sleep problems. I have basically a fear of falling asleep, which is kind of fucked. I don't know if that's a thing. If I feel myself starting to drift off, I kind of snap out of it. Because of my sleep paralysis issues, I hate being stuck in the in-between. An awareness will rise as you're in the in-between stage, and I think that's kind of what causes sleep paralysis. It's a little bit of an in-between. You're between non-REM and REM sleep. Your brain gets caught in that transition, according to one thing I've read. I've read several things about it. But anyway, I'm pretty I have sleep problems. I don't like falling asleep. I love being asleep, I think. I don't know. I'm not really there. And when I wake up in the morning, there's nothing I want more than to sleep. Go back to sleep. But going to sleep at night is kind of always a problem for me. And it just sucks. I fear the transition, I suppose. But anyway, I did fall asleep, I think. And I wake up just having this crazy panic attack. I kept feeling like I was being watched. And I was just scared of my own mind, this weird paranoia that was based on nothing. And it was really, I was just in my bed like, holy shit, I had to get up and walk around and try to make myself pee. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just got to pee. But I am literally panting. And it took a long time to get back to sleep. And so I feel like that may have been I was hungover, I was dehydrated, I drove for 10 hours, and I drank 2 energy drinks and a coffee. That's probably not too good for you. But if I had to blame one thing, I would say probably the Celsius, because I've never had Celsius. And I drink Red Bulls all the time, and I drink Monster Energy drinks sometimes, and coffee sometimes. I've never had this, crazy paranoia, fear of, I thought I was going to die. I don't know. I don't know what I was afraid of. But my heart was racing. And I thought, well, that was kind of weird. I didn't really enjoy that night. But that was that. The next day, it's show in Austin time. Now, Austin has become quite a comedy hotspot. It's, people are flocking there. All the worst comics you've ever heard of in your life are flocking to Austin. I reckon because Joe Rogan kind of moved there. Not kind of. He did move there. He opened a comedy club there. And from everything that I understand, that's what's causing this big exodus from the bigger cities or wherever any other cities. and there's a huge influx of comics moving to Austin, and that's cool. I think Austin's a very cool town. It's still relatively cheap. I think it's probably changing or is gonna change. What with this influx, and what with Elon Musk and Joe Rogan. Probably won't be too cool of a town for too much longer, but I don't know. Who knows? I love the freedom. I love the idea of the freedom of Texas. They threatened to secede. Good. They got their own power grid going on. That's cool. I like that Texas kind of does their own thing. Wild, wild people down there. But I reached out to so many. A lot of this tour was, some of it was through my agent Stu, and some of it was through me just reaching out to people. And Austin was one of those places. I built this a few of these shows around Dallas. I had a weekend in Dallas, so I booked this New Orleans show, and then I booked this Austin show, which took place in a cider brewery, a cidery that had they make ciders. You get it. And I reached out to a lot of places. I must have reached out to 8 to 10 venues, clubs, small, whatever, in Austin. Certainly not the big clubs. I didn't reach out to the Comedy Mothership or anything. But I reached out to some smaller venues, Cap City. I don't know if that's even small. I don't know. I feel like I could headline Cap City. A one-nighter on a fucking Thursday? That's the thing. This was a Thursday. It's like, I'm not asking to do a weekend anywhere. I'm like, if you have a free night, here's my credentials. And I would love to do a show. Ain't nobody in Austin reached out. And I think Austin, almost more than any other town, has had the most people reaching out to me on social media being like, come to Austin! Come to Austin! And I'm like, I'm trying, man. Excuse me, I need to drink this blood. Fresh blood. The blood of my enemies. It's the season for it. And the only place that responded to me was a cidery called Moon Tower Cider. And they do comedy shows. I saw that they had done comedy shows. They responded and said, yes. Oh, it's the sweetest woman. Chelsea, I believe her name is. Responded, and yeah, she's like, let's do a phone call. We do a phone call. Make a deal. I'll get a percentage of the door. She knows a guy who can host it. They do comedy shows there sometimes. And let's make it happen. I said, okay. They put it up on their website. I told her I'm probably going to get like 20 to 30 people. She said, okay, that's cool. Do a door deal. They didn't give me a hotel. That's okay. I got my own. And so it's showtime, and they are sold the hell out. And which is, must have been, I think they said it was like 65 people, 65, 70 people. They sold it out. This is now 2 shows in a row to begin the Party Angel tour. Sold out, bitch. Sold out, bitch. Fuck you, Matt Rife. Sold this shit out. It's a very small room. But I had a bachelor party there that was, dude, a buddy of mine from Groundlings. I just took Groundlings a couple months ago, or last month. And one of the guys in my class is like, dude, I'm doing a bachelor party in Austin, and my friends, they all got tickets to your show, not knowing that I know you. So there's this whole bachelor party there they don't even know that one of their friends knows me. And my buddy gave me a little bit of intel on The Bachelor so I could do some pre-planned. I did my little mentalist thing. I guessed his name and his job. Then he goes, oh, okay, I see what's going on. I go, yeah, I'm actually friends with Nick. But that aside, first of all, I get to the venue, and they don't seem stressed, but they do seem a little surprised by how many people bought tickets. Chelsea even said, you said it was going to be like 20 or 30 people. We sold like 65 tickets. We're not upset. It's just more than we thought. And I go, honestly, it's more than I thought. You should have seen the Boy with No Brain tour. I had a couple big crowds, and mostly Not so big crowds. I had two shows in a single week that both had exactly 9 people. Two shows. Exactly 9. What are the chances? So I'm like, yeah, this is I'm sorry, I didn't know it was gonna be so many people. Just like, no, it's fine. And before the show starts, I go and I get a cider, and the bartender says you can get one cider for free. First one's on the house, and then the rest of them you can open a tab. I thought, cool, I'll take one free cider. And then go in they have a makeshift green room. That's literally a storage closet. Me and the host, and then another comic, Andrew Michon, LA comic, was in town. He came and he dropped in and did a set, killed it. But we're all hanging back there. People are filtering in. The crowd is filling up. I go back to the bar to start a tab, and the bartender goes, now realizing how many people are at this show that I have brought to this show, she says, you know what, you can drink whatever you want. No limit. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. As it should be. I brought in a lot of revenue for this place, and felt great about that. Felt great to go from you get one free drink to, you know what, you can have as many drinks as you want. I thought, oh, thank you. Thank you, bartender. And this show, I would say it's tied. I would say it was tied for the best show of so far of the March chunk. Maybe second place. Probably second place to Eau Claire. But this was Wisconsin. But this show was just phenomenal, off the charts. And I did great. My friend Steve from college was there. I thought he lived in New York. He just walked up to me at the bar and he was like, hey, and I was like, Steve, what the hell? What a treat. Steve Conroy. Did not know he lived in Austin. Has a wonderful wife. Steve found love. Good for Steve. Still not Rye. Still not old Rye. But that was a nice treat. Great set. Afterwards, sold a lot of merch. So much merch. So now I'm 2 shows in. I've done New Orleans, and that went great. And I've done now Austin, and that went great. And I sold, I brought enough koozies to sell, on average, like 20 or 25 koozies per show, which is very generous. I'm not going to sell that many koozies per show. But these first 2 shows, each show I sold like 40 koozies. And I thought, shit, I'm going to run out of koozies. And I've done this before, and I had to do it again. I had to call my neighbor to go into my apartment. I have a key under my mat. To go into my apartment and overnight ship me a bunch of koozies. The neighbor I called last time was out of town. I had to call a different neighbor now. And I was like, hey, Kevin, listen, buddy, let me explain everything. I do stand-up. I don't think he doesn't know a whole lot about me. I just stand up. I got a bunch of koozies. I ran out of koozies, so he had to ship me. That was great. It worked out great. He sent me koozies, and then from that point forward, I pretty much did not sell very many koozies. So I had like far too many koozies now. But anyway, show was great. We go out in Austin. First of all, I make everyone. This is the Party Angel tour, and if you're coming to the rest of this tour. And folks, we got some bangers coming up. I mean, I'm talking Owensboro, Kentucky, coming up. Fun little run up in Wisconsin next month. Cambridge, Ohio, Leesburg, Virginia. I'm hitting all the big time spots. And if you're gonna come out with me, we're gonna go party, and I'm gonna ask to go to the most obnoxious bar you have. Or your favorite bar, or I choose a bar. Either way, we're going somewhere. And in Austin, I said, we're going to Dirty 6th Street, which is a horrible, horrible street. And I know that, and I knew that. I've been there. And, but it's the most touristy strip of really loud bars. People are wasted in the street. They shut the street down, like you can't drive on the street at night. Or maybe in the day, I don't know. Certainly not at night. and it's pandemonium, and no one who lives in Austin goes there. It's like Hollywood Boulevard out here in LA. Also, I live in LA. I'm so tired of people commenting when I post my tour, "You're not gonna come to LA?" Stupid. I live in LA. I'm here all the time. I do shows all the time. I put them on my stories. I'm here. I'm not headlining. You can't headline in LA. What am I, Dane Cook? What am I, Chris D'Elio? So I bring everyone to Dirty Sixth Street, and people are pissed. I have various groups of people that are. I got like 3 or 4 groups of people out that were at the show. I will say that was one of the biggest groups of people that I've like gotten out after a show. Some towns just like no one wants to hang after the show. Some towns a bunch of people. Like in Columbus last year, I had 206 people came to a show, and 2 of them came out with me after. Like I'm down to hang, and I'm a great hang. I'll buy you drinks. I won't put up a I won't put up a fight if you want to buy me a drink. And I'll get freaking hammered. So we go to Dirty Sixth, bunch of people out. Go to a couple cool bars. Went to the Jackalope, which is a bar that's got a giant jackalope that you can. There's like stairs up to it, and you can climb up onto it and take a picture. That's where we went first. Pretty huge, pretty cool bar. I think it's a pretty cool bar. I like that bar. And I actually got a picture on top of the jackalope, but I didn't even need the stairs to get on top. I just ran and jumped onto it. I'm very athletic. And then we went next door to a bar called Moose Knuckle Pub. Moose Knuckle Pub. And this is where all hell broke loose. So we're at Moose Knuckle Pub. And there's maybe 4 of us at this point. Everyone else has slowly faded away. I don't know where the bachelor party went. I told them we were going to Moose Knuckle Pub, and they just never came. But that's okay, because I'm with these people they're party animals. I love party animals. They're trying to hang. It's late, and they are hanging. They want a little bit of nose candy. They want some booger sugar. I thought, hey, me too. So I just start going around this bar. I'm hammered. Going around this bar, just going, hey, kind of a forward question, but do you know anyone who can give me some booger sugar? And if you don't know what booger sugar is, it's candy. And everyone's like, no. It's actually, to be honest, this is a mostly black bar, a mostly black crowd, and I only say that because it makes it scarier. That's why I'm saying that. I'm not trying to bring race into it for no reason. I only bring it up because picture how much scarier it is that everyone's black. So then I go up to one girl, and she's so chill. This girl is stoned out of her mind. Chill, kind of tomboy-looking black girl. And I say, hey, anybody want to give me a little booger sugar? And she goes, it's your lucky day, and just takes out a little bag of booger sugar and just gives it to me. I was like, oh. And there was only a teeny little bit left. Only a teeny little bit left in it. And I was like, thank you so much. I gave her $20. I go back to this girl in this group that I was with. Not a romantic thing. It was her and her boyfriend and then another guy. But she was the one who was leading the charge on wanting booger sugar. I go, hey, I got some booger sugar. Let's go into the back corner and do the booger sugar. We go into the back corner, at the very back of the bar by the back exit. And there's like the lights are low back there. Go into this little alcove and do a little booger sugar. I feel like we can't do it in the bathroom because we're different genders. And there should only be 2 genders. So we go into the back. I take out my little bag of booger sugar, and as soon as I take it out of my pocket, a bartender, I don't know if he was security or if he was a bartender that came around the bar, comes charging over. Very young guy, 23 years old, 23, 22 years old. Big jacked, frat boy looking guy. He comes over, he goes, give me the full bag right now. And I couldn't tell if he was messing with me, like he wanted to do some. He goes, give me the full bag right now. And I go, you want some? And he goes, and by the way, as soon as he walked over, the girl ran away. Just ran away back to her other friends, leaving me alone in this dark corner with this man. He's probably 6'2", broad shoulders on this fella. He goes, give me that whole bag, or you're going through that door. Talking about the back door where I was standing next to. And the bar is just about, it's last call. I don't mind leaving, He goes, give me the full bag or you're going through that door. And I still couldn't tell if he was joking. We went back and forth a couple times with me being kind of confused and asking, if he was joking. Because he was a really young guy who looked like he loves Coke. And he does, obviously. That's why he was asking for the whole bag. Or I'm going to have to leave. That's how they get Coke at the end of the night from people, and then they get a bunch of Coke to bring home. I know how these 23-year-olds do it. He goes, give me the full bag or you're going through that door. And I go, listen, buddy, I'm not going to give you this whole bag. But if you want a bump, I'll give you a bump. And he didn't like that one bit. And he picked me up. He picked me up. He didn't really pick me up. He grabbed my shirt and kicks the back door open and shoves me out the door. He didn't physically pick me up. Don't worry. He did physically throw me out of the bar. And I'm 35 years old, and that was my first time being thrown out of a bar. Physically thrown out of a bar for the mere act of having a little bag of booger sugar. It was just candy. It was just yummy candy. He throws me out into the back alley. And I land on my feet. I did not fall. I think he wanted me to fall so bad. He threw me like I was going to fall. And I didn't. What a little bitch. I landed on my feet. And I'm laughing. Because this is crazy. That I'm getting thrown out of a bar at 35 years old. By this kid who's probably 23. He throws me out. He slams the door. Now I'm standing in this back alley. And also, it's closing time. So I just went back around to the front. I went around the building to the front where everyone else was being paraded out because it's closing time, and that's a way worse way to have to leave. I got to leave through the back door. That was actually kind of tight. All these people are being funneled out the front door, all drunk and coughing on each other. So I went out to the front and I waited to find my other friends. I found the girl who gave me the little bag and I go, hey, I just got physically thrown out of the bar for just having that bag. I didn't even do any of it. And she goes, yeah, I got kicked out too. My girl. She was cool. And I found my other friends. Found another alley. Maybe dabbled in a little nose candy and then went to an all-night after-hours thing till 4:30 a.m. Cool club that was playing. And also they paid for me. I can't imagine what the cover was. I think it was a lot. Must have been $30 or $40 or something. Went into this, a seedy late night place where they were just bumping techno till 4 in the morning. It was so fun. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want the Party Angel tour to be. I'm trying to get thrown out of bars, go to some after hours stuff with some new friends. And it was great. And we didn't do too much booger sugar. There was only a little bit left, but that's all we needed to have one heck of a good time. So Austin was tight. Austin was great. Never did find out what happened to the other 3 groups that came out. But I found this crew, and boy, did they stick with me all night. And I appreciate them for that. And now we're, 33 minutes into this P-cast. And I reckon that'll do it for part 2 of the Party Angel. Tune in next time where we go from Austin to Dallas, and then from Dallas to Tulsa. And Tulsa, I will tell you, is my favorite story from this whole tour so far. You thought I need to get my life together getting thrown out of this bar in Austin? You ain't heard nothing yet. This was a eye-opening moment I had in Tulsa. A few of those. I'm telling you, man, this tour was freaking nuts. We're now, 3 days into this thing? And it only gets wilder, folks. So tune in to episode 19. And if you're out there, I got shows coming up. Please come see me. in Janesville, Wisconsin, or Des Moines, Iowa, and Kentucky, Ohio, Philly, Pittsburgh, some Virginia shows, up to Syracuse and Vermont. Just help me out here. I think my May stretch of shows has the potential to be shitty. I think I really front loaded this tour with some good March shows, and they have all been really good so far. And the true test comes next month. But thank you for listening to episode 18 of Laser Show. This podcast is sponsored by Yankee Candle and Joann Fabrics and Home Depot and Lowe's and Taco Bell and Penguin Publishing books, Penguin Book Publishing, Nike, and Kinder of the eggs. Thank you for listening. I'll see you guys. Well, I won't see you at all, nor will you see me, but I'll meet you back here for episode 19 of Laser Show.